Hello to everybody and welcome back to my Eurovision channel. I know it's only the second video, but it's gonna keep going up. I am Chris. I am from Northern Ireland. I live in Belgium and it's a beautiful sunny Sunday here. I've just arrived back from Dublin where I was at, well, I wasn't at the final. I was at a viewing party for the Eurosong final and then we had an after party. So I'm going to fill you in on all the details of what the feeling was, what the atmosphere was there. But before I do that, quick introductions, obligatory stuff. First of all, like, subscribe, join the conversation that we have in the comments, and I will be delighted to interact with you all. And secondly, I'm still getting started, getting used to, how to manage to upload and to do the reactions in the right way. And it's not only reactions, it's analysis, it's talking, it's just a conversation about Eurovision. So I hope that you'll find this interesting, informative, especially from the perspective of someone that was in Ireland at the weekend and experienced a number of things which we're going to get into in the video, but I would encourage you to wait around for the end for a little treat for those of you who enjoyed the Eurosong and may want to see a little bit more. So thanks for joining and let's get started. Okay, you've already seen my video, I hope. If not, I'll link it below, or you can check out my channel. You'll have seen that my top 6 in, let's say, from 6th to 1st. So bottom for me was next in line, and that was both personal preference and the fact that I didn't think Ireland should send it to Eurovision. It was a combination of the two. JLOL was 5th for me. It's just not my genre. From what I saw, or I didn't see the performance live, as I said, the stream dropped in the viewing party. From what I heard, especially from Shane on Shane's Eurovision review, go check his channel. He was watching it live and he thought it was quite elevated from the studio version. He was more positive about it, so that was great for JLOL. I'm really happy that that he was able to up the live performance, and to Sheen with the chorus definitely add a little bit. I've seen bits and bobs after, I haven't seen the full thing. After wait, I got this in the wrong order. I skipped Bambie Thug. Let's go back. So, Bambie Thug, number 2, Death Spot, right? Everyone in Eurovision knows number 2 is the Death Spot. We saw the running order and we're like, oh no, because Bambie Thug was my favorite song, as you know. So, yes, I was not super happy with the running order, but what can you do about that? Bambie Thug was my first personal preference, and I don't know. I wasn't sure whether Bambie Thug or Ilsha would have been the best to send to Eurovision, but they were the top two for me. And Bambie Thug, on personal taste, was my top by far. Then we're trying to mix and match here with the going in order of the songs performed and my preferences. JLOL was my fifth. My fourth was Isabella Kearney, who performed first. My third was Erica Cody, who performed last. And as I said, very professional, very well executed on the stage. My second was Ilse Gutubben, as I've just mentioned, and first was Bambie Thug, Doomsday Blues. So, how did the live performances pan out? I was in a viewing party of Irish Eurofans. The studio wasn't that far away, but we were viewing in the city centre. We could hear the songs, but we couldn't hear the panel. So it wasn't ideal if you wanted to really pay attention to everything that was going on in the show. Nevertheless, when the show was over and I was looking back at the performances and also listening to the people around me, it was clear that Ilsha had underperformed, and a lot of people were disappointed because a lot of people wanted Ilsha to go. But I think there was a sense in the room at the time that it wasn't going to work, at least in the Eurosong environment in the Late Late Show. It didn't come across as well as it could have on stage. So there was disappointment in the room for that. Then there wasn't much hype around Isabella Kearney or JLOL. And next in line, yes, there were people that liked the song, but I think everyone pretty much recognized that it's not the right thing for Ireland to send to Eurovision. Erica Cody got a very good response. People, I think, I don't know how to best to describe it. It wasn't that people didn't like or appreciate the song or the performance, everything. They thought it was very polished, very well done. But it was the last song, and by that stage, it was pretty clear in the room that Bambie Thug was the only realistic chance of Ireland to take a risk at this stage. So then we got to the results, and there were a lot of nerves in the room. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna switch over the screen in a little bit in the corner as we get closer to seeing what happened in the results. The results were pretty shocking in some ways. We had the international jury go first, and what we had kind of expected from the international jury is that they would elevate those songs that we felt that the Irish public wouldn't. So we felt like Erica Cody would be top. We thought Isabella Kearney would do well. And then it was really a question of kind of where JLOL, JLOL, Next in Line, Ilsha, and Bambie Thug all fell in the running order. And the biggest shock, honestly, was when the first results of the international jury came through, and it was Isabella Kearney, and everyone was like, what is going on? That was not last. I mean, it's not, yes, we all agreed it wasn't a Eurovision, it wasn't going to be the best option for Eurovision, but last, that was already, we were like, oh no. Then we had, I believe, I don't have the results in front of me, so please correct me if I'm wrong. The next was Judas with JLOL. Again, no big surprise there. I don't think it really clicked with that many people. So there it was kind of expected. In fourth place, I think it was Erica Cody, and that was a shock. That was a real shock. We were like, what is going on? It was either Erica Cody or Elsha. I can't remember. But those 2, 3, and 4, we were like, why is the boy band? Why is the boy band near the top of the international jury? And sorry, my mistake. Doomsday Blue was third. Doomsday Blue was third. Not Ilsha or Erica Cody. I'm getting mixed up. Ignore me. Anyway, the most important thing. First and second. So first, international jury picking a boy band from Ireland. Come on, what the hell is wrong with you? Deb and I love you to bits, but seriously, like, who was on this jury? I know who was on the jury, but seriously, you saw what happened last year. Don't do that to us. So panic set in. Panic set in the viewing party. Then we were like, we're screwed. The Irish jury and the Irish public are never going to get our songs in. Ilsha or Bambie Thug. I would have settled for Erica Cody at that point, honestly. But then the Irish jury comes in, and we had, among others, Brooke Scullion, who was Ireland's representative in 2022. It seemed to be quite a varied jury, and that was another shock. I'm not going to go through the results, all of them again. I know Isabella Kearney didn't do great with them either. JLOL, I think, was last among the Irish jury. Next in line, I think, were maybe fourth. And then we had Ilsha and Erica Cody, I believe, were second and third. And then Bambie Thug was first. And as soon as Bambie Thug came first in the Irish jury, the room that I was in erupted. Like, it was crazy. Like, everyone was like, oh my God, the Irish jury chose Doomsday Blues and Bambi. So we were, like, panicking. And then it was like, okay, now we're going to get the final results from the public after this break. And the whole room went, no, not a break. So it came back, and we had kind of, like, in the break, we had done the calculation that if Doomsday Blues finished third or above, it would have been first. The worst case scenario would have been a tie. And so we were going through the sixth, fifth, fourth. Doomsday Blue wasn't there. Neither was Ilsha in the public vote. And that already, like, was, okay, great, amazing. And then in third place came Erica Cody. And we kind of, there was a moment of, wait, are we sure? Are we sure that Bambi's got this? And then the second place in the public vote came through, and it was Ilsha. And I cannot explain how much the room erupted. And you heard it in the studio. Like, everyone in the studio in the Late Late. One great thing about the Late Late this year was that they had Euro fans in the studio and not the typical crowd of the Late Late Show. And that really, you could hear the chants of Bambi, Bambi, Bambi as the final result was being announced. So let me just take you over, and I'm going to try and play the basically what we were hearing in the studio from the viewing party. So here we go. This is what we had in the studio. Listen carefully to what is happening. I'm going to increase the volume of the studio, so hopefully you can hear.
We've got ourselves a winner. Who's the 12 points going to bring? Let's make it official tonight. Off you go.
I'm so honored to say that our public have decided to award our 12 points to Song 2, Doomsday Blues.
So there you have it. That was the reaction in the studio. I mean, of course, at that point, people knew that Bambie was going to win. And sorry, but I just noticed there my mistake. The boy band got 10 points, not Ilsha. Ilsha got 8, and Erica Cody was a lot further down than we thought that she would be. So, my thoughts. First of all, I mean, you guys know, this is my number one song out of the selection. I wanted it to qualify. I had hopes, but if you saw my last video, you saw that I thought that Erica Cody had the edge. Next in Line did well, and I wish these boys all the best because they are very talented. You can see potential there. The song just wasn't right for Eurovision, and that is as simple as that. I felt the same about Isabella Kearney. I felt the same about JLOL. The other three, I could see if it worked. If it worked on the Eurovision stage, it could work. But I was only really rooting for Bambie Thug and Ailsha because in Ireland we needed to take a risk, and we did. We took a risk, and I could not be more happy. I'm coming back to Shane's video now on this when he was watching the results, and he was getting emotional. He was talking about he has a number of friends from Ireland, myself included, and others. And the reaction that Shane had, it actually set me off because it made me realize how things are kind of not really settled in my brain. And watching Shane's reaction, I was like, oh my god, we did the right thing. And this is like, okay, I have to talk a little bit about Bambie. I'm going to come on to something that happened later in a second or two. Bambie is an artist, a lyricist, a creative mind, and one of the best Irish representatives that we could have possibly offered in the past years, in my view. There are people that may have concerns about staging in Eurovision. I don't. I think I mentioned in my last video that I don't have any concerns about staging with Bambie. My concerns mainly revolved around the live because I hadn't heard Bambie perform live before. And I mean, they knocked it out of the park. They completely knocked it out of the park with that performance. And there were sound issues. There were big sound issues with RTE. And how they got through that with those sound issues just shows the talent that there is there. It's incredible. I don't like comparing artists because everyone is different. But I will say one thing. My favorite song last year was Luke Black, Sam mi se spava from Serbia. Luke is based in London. there are a lot of artists from this kind of alternative scene in London, and I think that those artists all kind of coming together, working together, whether it be songwriting, artistic visions, thoughts, bouncing ideas off each other, there is a lot that can be done. Having said that, and listening to Bambie's interviews from before, what's been very, very, very clear to me is that Bambie, when they talked in the Eurovision podcast, shout out to them. I'm going to link all these sources that I've listened to down in my description here, so you can go and check those out. But Bambie essentially said in the interview with Eurovision, I have Malmo mapped out. I know what I want to do. I know how I want to do it. The Late Late Show is the limitation. I know I have limitations there, but what I want to do is kind of give people a sense of what to expect in Malmo. And that is why I don't have concerns. Because the staging, it was, relatively basic, but the colors, the dancers, the image, like Bambie's image as a whole, and that song all meld together so well. And I know a lot of people are confused about the genres and the mixing of the genres, and they're kind of like, I'm a bit confused, I don't get that. To me, these are amazing mixes of genres. Amazing. I mean, it's seamless. And it puts imagery in your head. Okay, so you've got my imagery. I said this in the last video. I will repeat it. It's angsty. It's essentially like everything that goes on in your brain in 3 minutes. So imagine, I'm taking an example that is way out there. Nobody is, talked about this or taken this, but this is in my head. It's loud, it's kind of anxious. You're in my head, I'm feeling anxious, and it just builds and builds and builds until something, you're going, oh shit, something is going to happen here, something bad is going to happen. My analogy is a plane journey. You're in rough turbulence, you're coming through a storm, and the plane is shaking all over the place, and suddenly, like, as it's getting to the peak of like shaking, and you're going, oh Jesus, hold on to the armrest, it's Jesus, and then suddenly you come out and it calms, and you're like, oh, okay, chill, that was scary, but I'm okay. And then it goes again, and you're thrown back into this turbulence. And I mean, I love the melding of genres. I love it. And the lyricism, the artistry, just everything about the song, I love to bits. So I was just so delighted on Friday night. And I had the honor to meet Bambie later on in the evening, and they performed in the after-party bar, which I will try to add to this video. And so you can see, even without a studio, without all the production crew behind, and just simply a DJ box behind, Bambie, the vocals that Bambie comes through with, and I want to insert the scream as well, is simply incredible. And another thing, Bambie is one of the most sweet, kind, approachable, just the loveliest. So a lot of people had gone, so there's only a few of us left. And Bambie was there with the team, and so we were just chatting, and I was saying to one of the team, are you are you guys ready for the next steps? I mean, these next like 3 months are going to be pretty intense. And the team member said to me, what do you mean pretty intense? Like, this has been the most intense like 3 weeks of my life. Like, it's really crazy. And I said, yeah, it's just gonna get worse. Haven't been at the what happened last year, so yeah. I'm hoping at some point, I'm going to a few pre-parties. I'm hoping that at some point I will be able to sit down and have a chat with Bambie, bring it to you, and yeah, Bambie, if you see this, reach out. I would love to. Well, no, you don't reach out. I'll reach out. I told you I'd reach out. I'm going to reach out, and let's see if we can. Let's have a chat. I don't. I will have my personal preferences in Eurovision, but if I'm talking to artists, I do not want to get into the competition aspect of Eurovision. After last year, I want to really delve into the artist's psyche, what they kind of want to showcase most in Eurovision. And so that's my aim as we go forward, and we discover more artists. I'll be at a few of the pre-parties, hopefully get a chance to have a chat with them. Then the other thing that I wanted to say, and it is flown out of my mind, so never mind, I'll come back to it at some point. But I just want this journey, like right into Eurovision, for everybody to love. Then on the I don't want to talk about qualification chances. We don't know the other songs yet. We do. Yes, Veronica from Raven is a witchy song, potentially a Polish witchy song. Do we have enough? Do we have too many witches? I mean, honestly, I don't care. I care about what the songs are. Even if there's 3 witches, there are 36, 35, 36 songs depending. So whatever happens, but even if Bambie doesn't qualify, I'm not getting into speculating whether they will or not. But even if it doesn't happen, Ireland should be so proud. And the final thing on this, the reaction. So last year, I remember the reaction to Wild Youth was, yeah, it's a nice song, but no, not going to vote for it. This song is divisive. Like, a lot of people don't get it, a lot of people love it. And if you ask me, do I want a divisive song that people are going to pick up the phone and vote for because they love it and they see people not liking it? Or a song that's kind of middle of the road, yeah, I could vote for it and maybe not, etc., etc. Then I want a divisive song. I want something that sticks out and sticks in people's memory, and this does. So those are my thoughts on Eurovision 2024 Eurosong. I'm so delighted that Bambie's going. And I'm going to finish off this video now. I will link down below my Instagram account. I also want to link down some videos that have helped me kind of, let's say, not form an opinion, but hone my views and my thoughts. And those include videos from Shane that I mentioned earlier. A friend of mine that I was at the viewing party with has a blog of that they're developing for this season, and I'm going to link that down below. And I also have some other people that I would like to link down below and to shout out, especially Eurovision Tom, who I met also on Friday night. And I think anyone in the Eurovision fandom knows Tom. just such a sweet guy, and he has a really good sense of where things are going. So if you don't know, or you're not entirely sure what might do well and what might not, I highly advise checking out Tom's channel. From last year, this year, go through his videos, and see where you land, and if you agree with them or not. I mean, interaction on these channels. Feel free to interact with me. If you don't agree with me, if you don't like the song, it's completely fine. I'm not. It's not a personal thing. I mean, the fact that I'm not a big fan of JLOL is nothing personal against. Of Judas is nothing personal against JLOL. Is my taste. So, final thing before I stop this recording and let you hear Bambie at the after party. My number one point is that when I'm doing these reviews, artists, irrespective of the song, even vocals, which can be criticized, both song, vocals, artistry, etc., they can be criticized, but every single artist deserves and needs respect. And this is key for me. Like, the work they put in to everything, even whoever it may be that comes last out of the, this year's cohort, that artist deserves the most respect for putting themselves forward, showcasing the talent that they have. And I think I'm going to be pretty strict on this in my comments. If I see comments disrespecting artists, I'm taking them down, because I won't stand for it. Artists deserve full respect from everybody. Criticize the song, criticize the vocals, criticize different aspects, not the person. And that is where I land. Sorry, I got really serious there at the end, but I feel really strongly about that. So, thank you for tuning in, and I leave you now to Bambie Thug standing on a bar after they were selected and singing their heart out to Doomsday Blues.